Alright, yeah, we're working on this, I think I said it was a 1939 Maytag twin, Maytag 72 twin, and we decided we're going to restore it. That's only if it runs good. So what we're going to do is, to start off, we're going to take the flywheel off here and paint the backing plate there, and then put the coil in. That way, if it is worthy of restoring, I don't have to take that all apart. Alright, let me throw you up on a tripod and we'll start doing some work. Alright, you guys still with me? Alright, let's take this off here and show you what I'm going to do. Put all these parts on a little thing here. Alright, let me put this off to the side. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this backing plate off, and only one screw holding it on back here. Actually, it's like a clamp. There you go, it'll come right off. I guess I could have loosened it a little more. But anyway, what I'm going to do is, you know, I said I'm going to paint it up, and you're probably saying, well, why would you paint it? You know, why don't you just polish it? This isn't really aluminum or aluminium or whatever. It's sort of like a pot metal, and you can't really polish them up. They never look good. So the common practice in a hobby is to paint it with like a silver or an aluminum paint, and that's what I want to do. So we'll clean this up and let's take it apart. Right? You guys in frame there? Take these off, see what's going on here. Remember where all these pieces go. That should pop right off of there, huh? You would think. I see what it is. It has a little pin on here. Let me get a pair of pliers. I don't know why I didn't see that. I was looking right at it. Let me get a little itty bitty pair of pliers to pull that off of it. It's been such a long time since I worked on these. Don't go away. Alright, I'm back. Alright, let me hold this up here so you guys can see it. Pull this little pin out. And now it should come off. Oh, there we go. Okay. Had two little washers. And then that spring goes in there. You can think I took these off because it's all gunky down here. Alright, put them over here. Looks like there's supposed to be a gasket goes back here too. Alright, and then this here. Let me see, I got another screwdriver here. This was a temporary capacitor we put on there. Alright, and then you got these screws that hold the original capacitor on. Try and hold it up, sometimes they come out of frame. Okay, and this here's just a butchered up gasket. Alright, here's that clamp I was telling you about. Just one bolt holds that on. Alright, so I'm going to clean this all up and, like I say, paint the outside of it. You know, because there's a good old grease on it like that. And then I'm going to put the coil in and the points back in. But this coil has a couple, three problems or so. First off, somebody welded these 12 gauge wires on here. You know, I say weld, but it actually means solder for my buddies overseas there over the pond. And you can see where it goes through, and they soldered it on. That's not supposed to be soldered, and it's not supposed to have anything. It's supposed to have a set of wires. But this wire over here is kind of loose and wobbly in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to cut these wires off, and I want to try and glue around here to try and stabilize that wire that's loose, because if that breaks off, you know, then you got a job ahead of you, and these things are expensive. Alright, let me get some cutters. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Alright, like I said, I want to try and cut these off here. And I'm going to leave a little bit of that wire on there because I want to be able to have something to wrap around it. Alright. Let me take this one off here. Alright, like I say, I gotta clean this up because this is all greasy and stuff. And then I'm gonna put some E6000 on there just to try and stabilize that a little bit. Alright, so next time I see you, we'll have this cleaned up and this ready for. I don't want to unsolder that because you don't want to put solder near these, because these wires in here are so tiny. They're probably like 36 gauge or something. But we should be able to save it. So next time I see you guys, I'm going to clean this up and this will be all painted up and ready to go. Alright. What else maybe I'll show you? Maybe I'll show you painting and show you how we paint that. I don't know, we'll see. Alright. See you then. Yeah, this one cleaned up pretty good, so maybe I won't paint it. You're not going to get a nice shine, nice aluminum shine you're not going to get. Like I say, this is pot metal. But one of the reasons you paint it is because, you know, although these don't rot like metal, you know, like sheet metal or steel, they do corrode, you know, and that's what this is. This white stuff is corrosion, you know. I wasn't going to do in here. I did around the outside plate and everything. I wasn't going to do in here, but I think I might. And you know, when you paint it, you know, you cover that up. It gives it a protective coat, so you know, it holds off on the corrosion. But let me see what that does while we're here. You still there? Yeah. You see, it gets the surface corrosion off, but you know, it's still sort of rough and scarred. But like I say, we don't have that on the outside here, so we're not going to paint it. All right, let me clean it up, and then we'll start putting it back together. All right. First thing we got to do, I guess we got to get a gasket. There's a gasket that was here. The last one was a little gummy, but let's see what we got here. You know, it actually looks like there's 2 gasket sets here, or maybe 1.5. Somebody probably only just needed a few pieces. This is the one we need, but there's already one loose here, so. Alright, yeah, only 1 muffler set gasket. Alright, so that's good. Let's put this together. I've moved you guys over there, so I'm not in your way. You know, my hands aren't in the way as much as they would be. I think this goes on like this. Then we got to get our points here. Got to put our little spring in. I don't know if you guys can see that. And this goes Goes in about this area here, I think. And then you kind of squeeze it together when you put it on. You know what? Before I put that on, I'm going to put a little 3-in-1 oil on here. Not much. Not much. You don't want to oil everything up. But there's actually a hole in the shaft here in the side, and then a hole in the top, so you can actually do that later on if you want. But we had it open, right? Let's see. I think it goes like this. It goes over a little hole. It's tight. It's tight. And I gotta squeeze that down. Yeah, sometimes you guys may not be able to see stuff because I'm trying to do stuff. It's probably a way these Maytag guys do this. I'm sort of jammed up here on there. I was jammed up on the points. Let's see if that will fit on there. Okay, yeah, I'll go on there. Okay. Yeah, the problem is this spring here. The spring has a lot of tension. And it's sort of got to go on square. Alright, let me turn the camera off and let me play with that and dick around and put that on there, because this may take a while. Alright, we see the problem. Like I said, it's been a long time since I worked on this. We actually had this part upside down, because where you see the points, they almost look like points on this side, but it actually goes this way, and you really didn't need that much spring tension. And then this goes way up. Actually, it's easier to do this. Stick it in that hole first. Did I say that? And then this one. So you really don't need too much tension now. Okay, look at that. Went on like it had eyes now. Alright. You gotta expect that. Like I say, last time I worked on one of these was years ago. Many years ago. Alright. Stick the little screw in here. You know what? I'm going to try and keep you in frame. That's why I got that. You see, I got a little piece of tape there, so I know where to keep you guys now. Okay. I'm not going to tighten it because we got to adjust the points anyway. All right. There were two washers here, and I thought that was a mistake because they were on the top. But I guess sometimes you might have to adjust them, put one on the bottom, one on the top, but if I put one on the bottom, then the points don't line up here. You know, right now they line up perfect, so I'm going to put them just the way they had them. Put two on the top there. Now, put a little clip on here. Alright. And you're good to go. Alright. I think last time we looked at, we seen you guys, I was cleaning this coil up, and I had one of these terminals was pretty loose, so I took some of this E6000. I like this stuff. I think I forgot what we used that on before, but it's good stuff. Oh yeah, we used that on capacitor. We put the capacitor together with that. But anyway, yeah, this stuff is also waterproof, and what I did is I put a little glob around here, and that's holding that. That thing's steady as she goes. Then I also put it, you know, there was a couple rub throughs, and it wasn't quite to the wires and everything, but I filled in all the holes, any holes that there were, you know, to keep any kind of moisture out or whatever. So that stuff is good, and it helped me in this situation here. All right, we got the points on. I'll try and make this fast so we don't bore you guys. And we'll put our grommets in here. Okay, that went in pretty easy. We got another one down here. Okay. They look good. They look good from the back here. Alright. Now, I'm going to put this on. You know, I could have tried soldering the wires on there, but like I say, you're not supposed to. You know, you're only supposed to clip them in there. And Maytag was so serious about that on the back here, I'm going to try and get up close and see if I keep you in focus here. But if you look here, there's a little wire and it's loose. And instead of, almost like even Briggs had a little blob of solder and they would always ground theirs out. But Maytag, they didn't even do that. They just they laid the wire here and you sort of clamp it against the backing there when you tighten this down. So they were serious about not putting any heat on these coils. You know, you don't know if you're doing any damage. You know, you're heating this up, and meanwhile the heat's transferring, and then the enamel between the two wires and everything inside, if that melts off or anything and they ground out, you know your coil's no good. So I just thought I'd bring that up. All right, now. This is where the coil goes. You got these two holes here, and then you got two little titties here. So you can't put this on wrong. And you got two holes here, so you just gotta. And this here sits on top of this little flat here. So let's see if we can get that on there. And I got my wire here, so it gets clamped against this little backing plate. Alright, missed it by a mile. There we go. There we go. It fell into place. Alright, make sure we're not pinching any other wires. These big screws here go on. I use my little screwdriver here just to drive them down. Alright, now I'm looking down here. Right, I see my wire and I see it's crimped right where I want it to be. Let me get a better screwdriver. I'm going away. Alright, you guys still there? I got my screwdriver here. It's a little bigger. Sometimes I just use this one to run screws in because it's a lot easier. Okay. Make it nice and tight so it clamps down on that. Yeah, we'll get back to this. Like I said, what I did is I cut these wires, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap the spark plug wire around there and then crimp it, and then crimp this copper wire. So that should be plenty good. But while we're at it, here's our capacitor. Remember we recapped that. I'm going to check that before we go any further, even though there's no reason for it to be bad. Alright, there you go, 0.22, 0.21, where you at? 0.22, 0.21. That's microfarads, so it'll be either a UF or a MFD. A couple guys asked what size that was. Alright, so we know that's good. Let's find the screws for that. Alright. Actually, this wire here, I'm going to send that under the capacitor here, so it don't get in the way of the points. Lost my little lock washer. Okay, you guys probably can't see that, but I'm just putting that one screw in there. Now I'm going to put this screw in and turn around. Okay. Yeah, by looking at it, you never know the capacitor was redone. Okay. Now, if I remember, this wire here goes here. It's nice. It's the wire's out of the way, and then this wire goes on there. All right. Probably should have a lock washer here, but I don't see any. I think we'll be okay. Not much room to put a wrench on it, but I'm going to get a little, I don't even know if I can get a socket on there. Alright, let me see if I can tighten it a little better. Alright, I got a little long socket here. That looks like it might work a little better. Okay, should be plenty good. Alright, let me get the wires and we'll put them on. Alright, before I go any further, I want to clean this screw up. See that screw head? Looks like they took it off with a jackhammer or something. So that bothers me. You know, it don't bother me too much when it's inside, when it can't be seen, but that goes on the back here, and you're gonna see it. So let me clean that up, make it look half decent. All right, just about got it. Doesn't take much. You know, when you do that, when you clean the heads up, you know, you compromise, they have a coating on there, and you compromise them a little bit, but I think when they get them all twisted up and bent like that, they're pretty much already compromised, so they're gonna rust anyway. So you clean them up, it doesn't take much, and if it bothers you that much, you put a little bit of oil on there, and that'll keep it from rusting. So, all right, that looks like it goes in here. Looks like it's a little bent. It's interesting the way they made this back here. You know, you look at that and you say, well, how can it squeeze together if if it's all one piece? But it's not. You know, they I don't know how they did it, but down back and behind here, you know, it's all slit down there. So this half here actually can move. Interesting. All right. While we're at it, might as well stick this on, right? This here holds your spark plug wire. I'm not going to loosen it up because we're going to have to, well, I'm not going to tighten it because we're going to have to fit a wire under there. Alright, at least we know where it's at. Alright, let me get the wires. Don't go away. Alright, let's take these wires and put them in and be done with this. Alright, the wires got two different size wires here, so here's the bottom. That means the short one would go up here. There we go. Okay, you knew it was going to mess up my thing there. Alright, turn this so it'll go into the plug, right? Alright. Now what I'm going to try and do is wrap this wire around this thing twice. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, just barely. Okay, but like I said, the way I designed this was to crimp the big wires down on here. Alright. That's all you gotta do. And that ain't going nowhere. Okay, now this other one's a little bit longer. Goes in the bottom here. Okay. Just turn this around here. This goes like this. Okay, and then this wire goes around here and clips onto that. Okay, so that's where your two wires go. Alright, let's put this one on. Let's see what we can do here. Still in frame here? Should have made these a little bit longer, but we're okay. Clamp that together. And that's not going anywhere. Then you just clamp it on the bottom here. It's actually pretty tight. It looks like it's loose, but it's not. Alright, so that's how that goes. One wire of this plug. And then one wire of this plug. Alright. Well, I'm gonna put this thing together and see if it starts, and if it starts and runs good, then I'm gonna continue on with the restoration. So, alright. I'll leave a link in the description for you guys for this, because anytime I use this or this capacitor meter, I'll leave a link for that too. I always get a bunch of questions, so and then when you guys use them links, you know, that helps out the channel a little bit, you know. I make a few pennies on that. So we say we call this done for now. Alright, it's probably getting pretty long. Alright, enough of this.